minus any distress did pass to them he was so kind.
That he would give and lend to them, to help them in their need, this made the poor all pray for him, and wish he might well speed.
One day in the pleasant springtime, when the great forest trees were veiled in, tender green leaves and fragrant hedgerows were white in May blossoms, Robin Hood and his bride, Maid Marian, sauntered down with the moist woodland path which led to the high road. As they drew near the edge of the wood, Robin thought he heard a low cry of distress.
It comes from the highway. They stopped and listened. Again they heard it. Robin, someone's in deep trouble. What can we do? I know a shortcut to the highway. Slip into the coppice and wait until I come back. I shall not be gone long.
Off he ran in the direction of the highway. When he reached the road which led to Nottingham town, he saw a poor old widow seated under a large stone by the wayside. She was crying as if her heart would break.
What news, my good woman? Tell me why you are weeping so bitterly.
Robin Hood, oh Robin Hood, I was coming to see you. I am in deep trouble. Oh, my sons, my sons.
Tell me, old friend, what is the matter? Perhaps I can help you.
My sons are condemned to die this day in Nottingham town.
Condemned to die? What have they done to deserve such a severe punishment? Have they burned parishes or slain ministers or robbed any maiden?
Nay, nay, Master Robin, they have not burned parishes nor slain any minister nor robbed any maiden.
Then tell me what they have done.
Oh, sir, they carried their longbows into the forest and shot one of the king's deer. The royal foresters seized them before the sheriff of Nottingham. My sons are condemned to die this day. Oh, sir, save them do.
Take courage, good dame. Go home and remember what I say. I'll save your sons.
Robin turned and walked briskly back to the spot where Maid Marian was waiting. Quickly he told her the story, and as they hastened together to the trysting tree, they planned how the poor widow's son could be saved. Robin approached the camp of the yard.
What is the haste, master? Little John, you must help me today. 3 youths of Nottingham are condemned to die at Nottingham. Bring 80 yeomen to Nottingham town. Mingle with the crowd near the marketplace and await my signal. Also station 20 men near the edge of the wood.
I understand, master.
Farewell, Maid Marian. Have no fears. We will free the widow's sons and return safely.
Robin hurried away at once, for he knew he had no time to lose.
Now Robin Hood was Nottingham gone in this merry month of May, and there he met with an old palmer who was walking along the highway.
Robin walked briskly along the highway, turning over in his mind plans to save the 3 youths.
Suddenly he looked up and saw an aged palmer coming back from a long pilgrimage. He wore an old tattered cloak and a very shabby high hat. Every few steps he stopped to rest on his staff.
What news, my good old man?
Sir, 3 youths in Nottingham are condemned to die today.
This is heavy news.
Ron was empathetic and noticed the palmer's old tattered cloak. After a moment, Robin inquired,
My good old man, will you change clothes with me? I'll give you 40 shillings in silver if you will.
The palmer was puzzled and confused.
But your apparel is good, and mine is ragged and torn. I tell you, sir, you shouldn't laugh at an old man to scorn.
I mean what I say, old churl. If you will speedily change your apparel for mine, you shall have 40 shillings. Come, decide quickly.
Ron was empathetic and noticed the palmer's tattered cloak. After a moment, Robin inquired,
Robin could not help chuckling to himself as he put on the old man's hat, which stood full high on the crown, and threw over his shoulders the tattered old cloak patched with black, blue, and red.
As he pulled on the old man's breeches, Robin, which were covered back and front with great patches, Robin couldn't help but think,
Surely this Palmer has little pride.
Do not forget the bog, stranger. See, this one is for me. This one is for meal. This one is for malt. Here are the other bags. One is for barley and corn. One is for bread. One is for beef. And I see I have one bag left.
I'll slip my horn into that one.
Last of all, the Palmer took off a pair of tattered hose patched on the ankle to the knee, and shoes which were cobbled in many places to keep them from falling to pieces.
Robin could hardly keep from burst laughing when he thought how comical the clothes made him look. He said to himself,
Well, I surely believe there is much truth in the old saying, it's good habit that makes a man. I wonder what little John would say if he saw me now.
Away Robin started toward the town of Nottingham. The old hat was pulled down over his eyes, and he walked very slowly, stopping every few moments to rest on his Palmer's staff.
Now Robin was to Nottingham gone, so he lanky down and down, and there he met with a proud Sheriff who was walking about the town.
Heaven saves the good sheriff. Heaven bless thee and save thee, sir.
That's what Robin said to the sheriff of Nottingham, who was walking along the main street of the town.
Well, old Palmer, you're back from your pilgrimage, I see.
Sir Sheriff, is it true that you are in need of a hangman today?
It is indeed. 3 rogues are condemned to die today for killing the king's deer.
Are they Sherwood Forest outlaws, sir?
No, they are not. They are youths belonging to Nottingham town, but I have given them the severest punishment because I am determined to teach those Sherwood knaves what their fate will be if they ever fall into my hands. The news of the hanging will reach Robin Hood's ears, I assure you.
No doubt of that. Now may I ask, good sheriff, what fee you'll give if I serve as hangman today?
13 pence is the fee, old man, but if you serve me well, I'll give you a suit of clothes also. Surely you have not greater need. Come, will you be my hangman today?
Aye, aye, sir, that I will.
In that instant, Robin forgot that he was acting the part of a feeble old man and nearly leapt for joy.
Methinks you are very nimble, old Palmer.
I am indeed. It has been many a long day since I earned 13 pence, and the thought of a new suit of clothes makes me very happy. Pray give me your orders, Sir Sheriff.
At high noon today, come to the west gate of town near the marketplace. The soldiers bring the prisoners forth at that time.
I will not fail you, sir.
About an hour later, a large crowd gathered near the marketplace to see the punishment of the widow's 3 sons.
The news of their arrest and severe penalty, which they were to pay for poaching the king's deer, spread rapidly, and many of the country people who lived within 10 miles of Nottingham had reached the town by 11 o'clock.
The people stood about in little groups, whispering to one another.
Perhaps the sheriff will be merciful and at the last moment change the sentence.
Let us hope he will. The prisoners are such good lads, and some say they need food badly. It is their first offense at poaching, but the sheriff is determined to make an example of them. What deeds sorrow for their poor mother?
'Tis an unfair sentence. The sheriff is a wicked tyrant. Hush, if the sheriff's officer should hear you, you would share the same fate as the poor widow's sons.
There they are!
In a moment, all eyes returned in the direction of the jail. The doors opened, and a body of soldiers led the 3 sturdy young men to the open space where the sheriff and the old Palmer stood.
They are ready for you, old man.
Shall I hear the last confession first, Sir Sheriff?
It matters little. Come to your work quickly and do it well.
The old Palmer stepped up to the 3 yeomen, looked sharply into each one's face, and whispered as he bent forward.
To the west gate when I say ready.
At the same time, he slyly cut the ropes which bound their hands.
The people stood in breathless silence. Suddenly, the old Tom turned toward the crowd, straightened his big figure with his queer hat and tattered cloak, lifted a small horn to his lips, and blew 3 shrill blasts.
Make way there, make way, ready. Three skull yeomen disguised tents among the crowd of people, threw out their cloaks, drew their swords, and rushed forward. Away ran the widow's 3 sons to the west gate where David O'Doncaster and Will Seeley stood, ready to help them pass the guard.
The people fled in all directions, crying out loudly.
Seize him, 100 pounds to the soldier who captures Robin Hood.
There was a clash of weapons for a few moments. Then the Greenwood yeomen, led by their master and Little John, fought their way past the bewildered soldiers to the west gate and made off to the edge of the wood, where some of Robin Hood's men were waiting with their longbows.
When the soldiers saw Robin Hood's men stand with both arrows, ready, they were afraid to make an attack, for they knew this was not that skillful archery to bring with men.
The people slipped hurriedly away to their homes. When safely out of the cruel sheriff's hearing, many of them rejoiced heartily because the 3 gallant youths had escaped.
There will be 3 more yeomen in the Greenwood band.
Ah, Robin Hood is indeed the poor folks' friend. What a joyful heart the poor widow have tonight.
Meanwhile, Robin Hood and a few of his men lingered near the outskirts of the forest until the noise and clamor in the town of Nottingham gradually died away.
Suddenly the figure of a poor woman came out from behind one of the large trees, hurried forward with outstretched hands, and said,
Robin Hood, I thank thee.